Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys. I'm back with another Blue Box episode review for you guys as we are essentially done with part 1 of Blue Box because part 2 won't come back till January. I think January 9th, but that's already confirmed. Part 2 or core 2, the back half of the season will come back. And I did see the trailer. The trailer is definitely interesting. Now I haven't seen the trailer because I don't know if they've released the trailer yet with English subtitles yet. I only saw the trailer with no subs. From what I saw the trailer for the back half of the season, it definitely seems like it's gonna be like okay, and especially when you see the poster too. You see the poster, it's like one side is like a full image of Chinatsu, the other side is a full image of like Hina. Obviously Taiki's in the middle. Now there's this other girl, there's like this blue-haired girl. So I don't know if this blue-haired girl's gonna play. I don't think she's gonna play a role in maybe interrupting a relationship or like maybe liking Taiki or something. Maybe it's gonna be like the type of girl that's gonna be like, look, dude, you're gonna have to choose a side. Who are you gonna be with, right? Is it gonna be Chinatsu? You're gonna go all in for Chinatsu, or are you gonna go all in for Hina, right? And when I saw the poster, I'm like, oh, so part 2 is probably gonna be about the decision, like who is he going to choose? Clearly. So regardless, but I saw the trailer and everything, and I was like, okay, it seems interesting. It's gonna be this whole thing, obviously, with Chinatsu, opening up her feelings and just wanting to go take what she wants, but at the same time, Hina also wants what she wants. And it's gonna lead to something. And it looks like in the last part of the trailer, it looks like Hina might actually be there about to confess to Taiki about her feelings for him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting for the back half because the back half more than likely looks gonna be the back half when we're gonna finally get the decision made and everything. But this episode, man, did they leave us off on a nice little where we're gonna go head to next for the next season starting next year, or the next part starting next year in January, because they immediately came out after the episode on Thursday ended and said that, Core 2 is scheduled to arrive in January. So it's going to be a quick little break, but we'll be back for more Blue Box content, right? So we don't have to wait too long, right? But this episode, man, we finally get some confirmations on things that I've been speculating about. And it's very much clear by the time we get done with this episode, we basically find out that yes, Chinatsu definitely deep down has feelings for Taiki. And she's jealous and she's kind of upset and she can't really figure out her feelings. At the same time, she's also a little bit upset with Taiki for like, well, if you're with Hina, why didn't you just tell me from the jump so then I could maybe have put these foolish feelings behind me, right? And what she may think is foolish, right? But it makes sense, I guess, in her case. Like, she may like this guy, like really like this guy, but then like she doesn't. She sees this dude with this other girl, and she's only gonna think like, oh, they're dating more than likely, and he never told me, but he kept messing and playing around like as if he had any type of feelings for me. So. Anyways, we started the episode where we last left off from last week, where Taiki ended up coming across Hina and everything, right? So we actually do cut to Chinatsu's group, and Chinatsu's group at the festival, of course, and they're hanging out, and next thing you know, they're like, whoa, look at that! Aren't those two first years? And Chinatsu sees it, and it's obviously Hina and Taiki, and I'm just like, oh, we're already getting to the point. Oh, wow, great! So it's just like, that's where it starts, where she's just like, oh, wow. And that's probably where she believes, she's like, so they are dating. Because she was going to ask the question to Hina at some point, if either like Hina liked him or if, they were dating or something like that. But she got interrupted before she could ask that question. So now, in her eyes, she's thinking like, oh, they are actually an item. They're a couple. So, yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. So, they basically have it. you get your typical like little, I guess you can say, festival date, because they're obviously socially awkward amongst each other. One, Taiki's like, he actually looks kind of cute. Wow, I'm actually shocked. Well, you said like he's not actually shocked. He's just like, wow, I never expected this. And then Hina, on the other hand, like, she's just like, she's in a space where she's afraid to talk to him or say anything, because it's like, I finally did all this and everything, and we're alone together, and I can't talk to the guy. Your typical high school stuff right then and there. So you have these nice little moments you see with them at the festival and everything, right? Um, and they get ready to go to the fireworks portion of the festival, where they sit on the grass for the fireworks, right? And they're enjoying the fireworks and stuff like that. Taiki actually calls Hina cute. In the scene, he's like, you look kind of cute and everything. And it's funny because Hina's like, wait, what? He called me cute. And she starts to tease him a bit. She's like, come on, say it again. And he's like, no, I am not saying that again. And she's like, come on, what, you gotta say what you said. And that's the thing. But anyways, he has to go off because he wants to go get some drinks, right? For them and everything. And obviously she's so giddily and happy because like this dude she likes is like, he called me cute. Like, he's actually seen me as a girl. I'm not just a friend. So maybe I do have a chance, right? So this then leads into a scene to where like these group of guys, and I think it's like this one guy that I think we've only seen like 1 or 2 times in this show so far in the 12-ish episodes we've gotten so far. I think it's this one guy that actually does like Hina, and he's like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, oh, hey. And basically, and so like, hey, you don't mind if we join and everything? And she kind of looks, and then they kind of cut away. And then when Taiki eventually came back, like, he was that person was there. So I'm guessing what happened is she may have told him off and said, I'm actually hanging out with this dude or something that I like. So sorry. And the guy must have got shot down or rejected. And maybe the guy just maybe told her like, hey, I really like you. And she probably said, sorry, I don't reciprocate the same feelings, right? So because that whole group was gone, right? So in Taiki's case, as he's getting the drink, right, as he's walking to go get the drinks, he ends up hearing a girl crying and seeing Chinatsu, and Chinatsu's with a little girl crying because she lost her mom, and everything. And Taiki shows up. He's like, hey, is everything okay? And basically she's like, oh, well, this little girl, can't find her mom. She, her mom lost her, right? So basically the plan is for them to go, find her mom. But first what they're going to go to is they're going to go to basically the lost and found people and basically spread the message to like, hey, there's a lost girl. We'll be waiting here at the lost and found area to find her or whatever, right? And they kind of do some nice funny things to cheer the girl up, and she gets a little bit happy. And then when it looks like Chinatsu is gonna go, like, all right, I'll go take her to the girl's like, no, I want him to come too. And you get this nice cute shot like I have in my thumbnail where it's a little girl holding the hands of Chinatsu and Taiki, and I'm just like, oh, is this a little foreshadowing to them in the potential future of maybe having a nice little daughter that they have to raise and take care of, because it's like a nice little family moment you get there. It was a nice scene. It was a cute scene and everything. And you just kind of have it to where you just kind of have it to where they're looking for the parents. They get to the lost and found, and eventually the mom does find the child and everything. So that's kind of the whole thing and everything. And the little girl's like, hey, here, take this, little pin and everything that you can put in your hair, and everything. And, Chinatsu ends up taking it. She's like, okay, thank you. And even the mom's like, oh, my daughter is really nice. Just make her feel happy. And she puts it. You have a nice funny moment where Taiki starts laughing at her, and she's like, why are you laughing? what's so funny? And he's just like, he's just like, you have that pain in your hair, and you just couldn't say no. And she's just like, all right, shut up. I don't have time for you joking around and everything. Funny, right? So, you get that like nice little moment. Now, also too, I think even before that search scene and everything, um, what is it? They end up running into this girl, and it's actually Haruyu Senpai's girlfriend, right? So Haruyu has a girlfriend. She's very beautiful, and Taiki's like, "Whoa, she's pretty cute," and everything. So I forgot her name, but Haryu's girlfriend basically knows Chinatsu. Like they went to the same elementary school, so they known each other from way back right? So and everything. And she's seeing like this, she's like, oh, what's this? And everything. And obviously she sees Taiki and everything. And basically she's like, wait, you're Taiki? She's like, oh, you're that Taiki? Haru, told me a lot about you. It's not very nice to meet you. He talks the world about you, of how talented you are and everything. And Taiki's like, oh wow, I never thought he'd talk about me like that. So you get this nice thing, and his girlfriend's very, very nice, right? So she's like, well, it's clear that you guys are busy. I don't want to interrupt anything that you guys may be going on, so I'm gonna go find Haru and go hang out and everything, right? Now now Haru's girlfriend is like, huh, interesting, Chinatsu, right? So so after all that stuff happens, they're walking, back, and they're on the fireworks area, right? Eventually that's when like Taiki's like, well, I'm gonna go back to where I need to go do. I guess I'll catch you when I see you home. And she's like, okay, I'll see you when you get home too. So he walks off, and then she walks back to her friends. Now, Taiki meets back up with Hina. He's like, hey, I'm sorry, apologies. I was gone too long. There was a situation I had to do something. And she's just like, oh, no problem. It's fine and everything. And then in the meantime, when you have Chinatsu go back to her group of friends, she's like, oh, hey, sorry guys for being a little bit late and everything. Something happened, right? And then her friend's like, hey, are you okay? Like the one girl, I think one of her best friends is like, hey, are you okay? You look kind of sad. And she's like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm good. And when I heard her say that, I'm like, oh, she's sad because she didn't want Taiki to go, because she knows Taiki's gonna go back to Hina. And Chinatsu should have probably told him like, no, I would like you to stay with me, right? So that makes the whole sense. Now we do cut back to Haru, and his girlfriend shows up, and his girlfriend tells him like, oh, I ended up actually meeting that Taiki, teammate of yours. And he's like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, he was with Chinatsu and everything. And he's like, oh, huh, interesting. Because, remember, Taiki in the last episode told him like, hey, I was gonna go to the festival of Hina and everything. So I think now his girlfriend, who's Chinatsu's friend, childhood friend, was like, huh, very interesting, Chinatsu. I wonder what's going on. And we get a flashback back to where they had some, meet up, like breakfast or lunch area. They were just hanging out and everything. And basically Haru's girlfriend Chinatsu told Haru's girlfriend about the fact that she's moving in with Taiki and everything. And Haru's girlfriend's like, wow, interesting. That's a lot to stay there. And she basically tells her like, hey, like, living with a guy, like, is that gonna change anything about maybe how you feel about him? Like, when it comes to like you liking him, right? And she legitimately is like, yeah, it may have an effect of me maybe liking him. And that basically right then and there, it confirms right then and there that Chinatsu does indeed have feelings for our boy Taiki. Because she legitimately told Haru's girlfriend, like, straight up to her face, like, yes, even though I may be living with this guy that I've known for about a few, weeks now, I think I kind of like him, right? And it's just like, oh, so deep down she does have feelings for him. And it makes sense. And again, the jealousy stuff, the date stuff, because remember, she went on a date with him, the jealousy stuff with him she took the chicken nugget piece to eat, and she's told him, like, I'm doing this because I'm jealous. The shirt thing, when she looked at him and she saw the damn abs, the fact that even though it's clear she was very flustered by her falling on top of Taiki in his bedroom by accident, like, that obviously had an effect on. I think it's pretty clear she likes Taiki. She's just having the insecurities about herself, especially about maybe confessing those feelings and being open up to maybe having a boyfriend. Because right now she's in the mode, like, I kind of want to focus on basketball. I don't want to really have a focus on boyfriends, even though, like, her friends bring it up to her, like, hey, I think you could be, you could use this as a time to get a boyfriend and everything. And she's just like, I'm kind of not feeling it and everything. But deep down, we know, like, okay, she does like Taiki. She's having her own insecurities, and maybe she's not having enough courage to just be like, you know what? This guy's been really nice to me. I'm kind of like him and everything, and he's not a bad guy. And plus, like, he's the reason why she continued to stay at the school they are, so they can reach nationals. So there you go, right then and there, right? So it's the next day. School's back in session. They're basically at practice and everything. Taiki's continuing his badminton practice. One of the shuttlecocks end up bouncing near Hina. He's like, hey Hina, can you pass me that? Can you pass me the thing, right? But she's got her ear pods in her ear. She ain't even listening. So he just walks over, just takes it, and walks back to practice. And her friend's like, hey, that guy, he was calling out your name and you just totally ignored him. She's like, wait, what? And her friend's just like, oh, Hina. it's absolutely funny, right? Absolutely funny. Her friends be like, come on, just wake the hell up. I'm like, if you like this guy, go get him. And again, I don't blame, her friend. I feel like in part 2, her friend's gonna be like, look, dude, look, girl, like, if this guy likes another girl, or there's another girl that likes him, well, if that other girl is gonna be forefront with her feelings, well, you're gonna be a loser. You might need to go tell him how you feel. At least it's better to get an answer, whether he says yes or no. So I can feel like the friend Hina could play an impact of getting her to muster up the courage to tell him, like, hey, you need to tell him, like, you like him or not. Otherwise, like, he's just gonna go find somebody else, and you're gonna be left in the dust, and you're gonna be the one upset because you didn't make him move faster, right? So, what then happens next is Chinatsu's walking up. She sees Taiki, and she sees Taiki sleeping because he's just been working and practicing and everything, and he's been exhausted, right? So she legitimately is just thinking about everything that's happened, and that's when she just is like, this is the thing that I wanted to ask you. And she's like, why did you lie to me about you and Hina? Why didn't you tell me that you and Hina were dating and everything? And it's kind of her way of saying, like, well, you should have told me that you two were an item, and then maybe these feelings that I have for you, maybe I could have put them away a long time ago. Now, she doesn't directly confirm to his face while she's sleeping, because I legitimately thought, I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna do this typical anime trope for a main male character sleeping, and that's when the main female character's gonna be like, that's when I, like, admits, like, I love you, or I like you, or something like that, right? No, she doesn't indirectly confirm or admit that she likes him yet. But she goes on to say, like, why didn't you tell me that you're dating this other girl? Like, and it's basically her implying, like, if you just had told me instead of lying to me from the jump, maybe these feelings that I may have for you, they're not gonna go up in smoke. Like, maybe that moment where we went on the date and everything was for nothing, you know? Because, again, like I said, I'm gonna continue to say, she has a direct interest in our boy. A direct interest in him. It's just she doesn't know the situation. She doesn't know that Hina and Taiki are just friends. She thinks like they're legitimately dating, and when she saw them at the festival, like in a kimono and everything, and even like the little girl makes a mention, like, didn't you want to wear a kimono and everything? And she ends up saying, like, yeah, I would love to wear a cute kimono and everything, right? You know, Chinatsu is understandably so. You know, she's upset at him because it's like, well, you never told me like you guys are an item. So it's like you told me all these other things, but you never told me that you were maybe dating this girl. And the thing is, I actually may like you. So yeah, man. The episode leaves off on a somber note going into the back half of the season, but it's gonna be interesting. Clearly, what we're gonna have happen here is it's gonna be, you know, all right, is Hina gonna muster up the courage to like tell Taiki like, you know, she likes him, and maybe, you know, that's the thing, or maybe they do have a talk at some point, and Taiki's like, I'm not even dating Hina. I'm like, we're just friends. I don't know where you got that from, but you must have saw us at the festival, right? So that's the thing. Maybe at some point, I don't know. And realistically, that's your little drama thing, because you know there's a little drama in these romance shows. But yeah, but from what I see in the trailer, it's like you see them on the beach together. It's gonna be interesting to see where that's gonna go. And then also you see her looking like, I guess she's going through her nationals, and it seems like it potentially could be affecting her, because we do see it a little bit in this episode. Like she, you know, because of everything that happened, she is a little bit like a little bit, you know, I guess her mindset isn't in the right space, right? Because of everything that's been happening in her personal life and the fact with the Taiki and the Hina situation. So you have to wonder if in the back half if that's going to affect her play in her nationals game. So yeah, but really solid conclusion to part 1 of Blue Box, and I've really been enjoying this show. Really been enjoying the show. Definitely can't wait to see what the back half is going to bring us, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, guys, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Blue Box content or any other animes that I upload to the channel. I will be back in January talking the next Blue Box episode to see where we go from this point on. So till then, guys, see you later. Stay safe up there and enjoy your Christmases and have a Happy New Year too. Till then, guys, peace.